exactly a week before Thanksgiving. And it is the 20th of November, 2025. Here for another podcast pregame. I'm outside, as you can see, not at the friendly confines of the sports desk. But yeah, lots on the brain, lots going to be discussed on this podcast. And even if you watched the live stream yesterday, every Wednesday here on YouTube, 12 p.m. Eastern, there's a few other things that I want to unpack about what's going to take place here over the course of the next few days leading into next week, which later on, I have a programming note in regards to not only the podcast on Monday, but also the podcast pregame. So you definitely want to stay tuned for that. As far as the podcast itself today, obviously the NFL Week 12, lot cooking, lot to really uncover there. I want to start off with the Chiefs. Is their season in peril? I think that's the game on Sunday. I don't care what people say about Philadelphia, Dallas, or Tampa at the Rams. Two big games. Philly, Dallas, And I'm going to get to the Eagles in a moment, but to me, that Indianapolis-Kansas City game is fascinating on so many levels. First and foremost is the Chiefs' season in peril. They lose that game, they'll be under 500 this late in the season since I can remember. And they're really going to be in jeopardy. And I'll even go as far as saying that if they do not win at home on Sunday against the Colts, they're not going to make the playoffs. I don't think they will. And there's still 6 games after that. So it's not me coming out and saying that if they do lose on Sunday, that there are 3 games left and I can boldly predict that, they're not going to make the playoffs. No, this would be a situation where I don't think they're going to make it. Now, their schedule is dicey, but it's not impossible. But if the Chiefs happen to lose at home and go 5-6, why would I think all of a sudden the season's going to turn around? Jay, good morning, my man. How you doing? Hope you're feeling better. Hope you're doing better. And everybody at home as well, Fishing Angel, Son, etc. Yeah, I'm talking about the Chiefs right now because, as I just mentioned literally 30 seconds ago, I really feel that if the Chiefs do not win Sunday, they're not going to make the playoffs. And that's not a bold prediction, considering that there's still 6 games left. And I was going to talk about how their schedule is a little bit dicey. They play the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. Not a given that they're going to win that game. And that's even if they do win on Sunday against the Colts. But they have the Cowboys. They have Denver coming into their building on Christmas. Then the Chargers also come, and I believe that's also I want to say that's a Thursday night game. I believe it's another primetime game. But their schedule, I know they have the Raiders in the last game of the year. And I know there's another game on the schedule, which is not really that hard. But their schedule isn't easy either. Glad to hear you're doing great. Me? Same. Obviously, I'm out here. The wife is home today. So that's why I'm doing the podcast pregame out here. And I think before you hopped on and before I sign off, I do have to share an update as not only with the podcast on Monday, but also the podcast pregame as well. But I'll touch on that prior to me signing off. The Chiefs, though, fascinating game. And not only that, but also the Colts. I'm not a big believer in them. And even if they were to win in Kansas City, whether they win by 1 or by 50, I still won't be sold on them. But that is also going to be a big game to see whether or not and where they stack up against a team like the Chiefs. And granted, this isn't the Chiefs of 2-3 years ago, but to me, that game is more on the Chiefs than it is the Colts, because I think we'll get a better understanding as to what that team is about. And granted, the game is in their building, but if they win a close game, you're going to say, all right, that's not anything that I'm going to look at and be so, even if they win by 30, but I don't think that'll be the case. And then remember, they play the Cowboys on Thanksgiving just a few days after that. So although they could be 6-5, but they could be 6-6 before the end of next week. So that's one of the things I'm going to discuss to start off on the podcast. And the other thing I want to talk about too are the Eagles, because this report that came out about players frustrated in the locker room in regards to their quarterback, Jalen Hurts, the team is 8-2. What are they complaining about? Talking about how the offense hasn't clicked, the defense has had to carry the offense, not only just in these last couple of weeks, but for most of the season, and how, for whatever the reason, the players, and this is on a report from The Athletic, saying how Jalen Hurts is not throwing the ball in tight windows where they're playing in a zone coverage. Really? Is that what we're going to talk about here? Eagle players? I mean, it's almost if they're making stuff up just to be not necessarily at odds or angry toward their quarterback, but I mean, seriously, we're going to nitpick about that? And I got to give it up. Jalen Hurts, that guy is class personified. He is not letting the pressure get to him. We don't see it on the outside. Maybe somewhere on the inside he's bothered by it, or he's saying to himself, yo, what more can I do? I mean, our team is winning. And isn't that what the bottom line is at the end of the day? They're winning games. I remember 2 years ago when they were 10-1 and there was a lot of controversy surrounding Hurts, the offense, etc. And then they lost, 5 of the last 6, and they got blown out in Tampa in that wild card game. But it's just mind-boggling to think that a team that is tops in the NFC, 8-2 in the conference, and they've beaten Tampa, Detroit, sorry, Jay, the Chiefs in Kansas City, and they beat another big team. Now, I lost to Denver at home, and they were up 17-3 in the game. But, yeah, I don't see what all the beef is about. I don't know. I just can't believe that players are, I don't want to say turning against one another, but the frustrations in the locker room, our quarterback is not able to make plays and make these tight throws in windows and zone coverage. Come on. Yeah, you got to come up with something better than that. I seen a projected playoff field of the Chiefs' second wild card team. CBS Sports app. Here's the other thing about the Chiefs too, Jay, where they don't have tiebreakers over a lot of these teams also. They're not going to win a division. They are 3-loss, and Denver hasn't had their bye yet. And with 7 games to go, they're going to have to make up 4.5 games. That's not going to happen. So they don't have tiebreakers against, right now, the Chargers. And the Chargers are 2 games ahead of them. Are they 7-4, I believe? What's the Chargers' record? Yeah, I think they're 7-4. So they're a game and a half up. Really 2 games because of the tiebreaker. They don't have a tiebreaker against Jacksonville. Now, they play Houston. That's the other team they play down the road, which Houston's played better. And who knows if C.J. Stroud's going to come back. But that game is in Kansas City. They don't have tiebreakers against these teams. Buffalo's another one. So, although CBS Sports has predicted that they have the second wildcard spot, and the schedule is not impossible, but it's not easy either, I don't know. And that's why I think if they lose, I'm saying this now, they lose on Sunday, and I don't care if they lose on a 70-yard field goal in the final seconds. They lose, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. Because of schedule, on top of the tiebreaker situation. And now they don't play Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh currently has they lead the division. So they're going to have the 4 seed right now. But unless they have a better record than Jacksonville, the Chargers, and the Bills at the end of the day, how are they going to make the playoffs? And who has the last 3 seeds in the AFC as it is to begin with? LA, Buffalo, Jacksonville. So that's why I don't think they're going to make it, especially if they lose this week. I'm used to it. I've come to the conclusion, get shitty refs calls constantly. Yeah, I know. Listen, the refs, you can say that about all the sports. But I don't think these games are 100% being decided by the refs. I know the pass interference call, we talked about that the other day. But, it's not a situation where it was Rams-Saints. Remember that championship game? What was it, 2018, I think? That was when the Rams played the Patriots the second time in the Super Bowl. And, I mean, that was egregious. And that literally cost the Saints going to a Super Bowl. Now, mind you, they had an opportunity in overtime, but it shouldn't have gotten to that. I get it. But Fishing Angel, morning. Did Jay show you the replay of the live stream yesterday? And if he hasn't, I would implore you to go back and watch it. It's on the channel because I did something and actually saved something. No, he didn't. All right. The only reason why I say you have to watch it, and I think you have to watch it at I want to say anywhere between like the 25-minute and 30 minutes. So you don't have to watch like the first 20 minutes in order to get to it. You can just scroll or do the fast forward with your finger on your phone. Yeah, I would think around 25, 27 minutes. Definitely within that 25 to 30 minute, the first half hour. Yeah, I did something which I know you will get a kick out of. And I saved it just for you, hoping that you'd be on, but I know that you were with your son, and I hope your son's doing well, of course. But, yeah, when you get a chance, check that out. I think you get a kick out of it. And Jay watched it. He's seen it, so he knows. So, and again, I did that specifically just for you. But, yeah, with the officiating, listen, sadly, I hate to say it like this. I mean, it is what it is, but I don't know if they're really determining the outcome of these games to the point where it's like, whoa. I mean, seriously? Yes, I understand that pass interference call, but how I look at it is that with the way that the Lions performed on offense that night and the way the Eagle defense had played, even if the Lions got the ball back, I didn't think they were scoring. Oh, you're welcome. No problem. Like I said, I think you'll get a laugh. And who knows? You may say, oh, my God. I mean, who knows? But I hope you enjoy it. What else? Joe Burrow may come back, which I'll talk about. If he could salvage this season, I don't know if he's going to be able to do so. I mean, the team is 3-7. And they're miles behind in the wild card spot. But look at last year. Last year they had that late run, and they fell that short. It looks like it's probably going to be the same. They're going to have to run the table for the most part. I don't think 9-8 is going to make it into the playoffs. So, yeah, that. What else? There are a couple of games on the schedule. Tonight, I know you have Buffalo, Houston. I talked about that yesterday. But those are the things I'm going to target NFL on the podcast. As far as the college football, I'm calling it the calm before the storm. I think I may have mentioned that yesterday. Because this week, you don't really have great games. You have a couple of good games, but as we all know, next week is the weekend of college football. So I'll touch on that, as well as the NBA, LeBron's return. I know I made a mention of that yesterday, but I really want to expound on that to see what his impact is going to be as a guy. Miles! Just woke up. Oh, I hope I didn't wake you up again, Fishing Angel. If your husband was next to you and they hear my voice again and wake you up. But, yes, next Saturday. Okay, good. Miles, what's happening? What are we today? Are we Thor? Are we... I know I'm being silly right now. Because I know yesterday you were Spider-Man. Let me see. What was I saying? Oh, LeBron. So, yeah, I'll talk about that a little bit. And, yeah, whatever else is happening in the NBA. I know we talked about the Pistons a little bit yesterday. The injuries there with Wembanyama and Giannis. As far as the hockey, is my guy Craig Berube. Now, I only say he's my guy because from back in the day, he was one of the toughest guys in the league in the mid-late 80s into the 90s. I know that the Maple Leafs have given Berube the dreaded vote of confidence, but with the slow start that they've gotten off to, is he really on the hot seat? So I will talk about that. And then you also have a Stanley Cup rematch on Saturday night, which I want to talk about. And I kill the NHL because that's on a Saturday night. I understand you got college football. What is the Saturday night game? Off the top of my head. I don't think it's a big game. Is Oregon there? I want to say USC Oregon is the night game, which is a good game. But that should be on TNT, or I understand it's not going to be on ABC considering that it's the USC-Oregon game is on ABC. But for a Stanley Cup final rematch, Edmonton at Florida, and they're actually in Tampa tonight. I think they're on ESPN. But why can't they show that game? Why not? Why can't that also be on ESPN or ESPN2 or whatever? It doesn't make sense. As it is, I think it's on the NHL Network, which, I mean, that's a joke. Yes, Michigan, UConn. Today we're Virgil, Young, Black, and Rich, of course, Miles. Oh, 8 p.m. on Fox. Oh, so USC Oregon's 8 p.m. on Fox? Yeah, I hope Michigan beats UConn. And they lost to Arizona last night. So, in Arizona, obviously, what are they ranked? I think 4th in the country. So, yeah, I'd be curious to see that. But, yeah, so I'll touch a little bit on the NHL. And then the Major League Baseball rights deal, which I like, because NBC, they got the Sunday Night Baseball package. So ESPN, although they ponied up $550 million, now this is a 3-year deal, $2.4 billion. Now ESPN, they're not showing the wild card round like they had the last couple of years. And I believe they're only broadcasting, I want to say I saw the number 30 games. Now, they're not going to have Sunday Night Baseball. They're going to have a weeknight package. I don't know if that's going to be Sunday or whatever. Sunday. I don't know if that's going to be Wednesday or Monday. But they $550 million. But the thing is that I understand that they're also going to have MLB TV through ESPN, similar to the NFL Network now, with ESPN buying that. So I think part of the reason why they paid so much for the rights is because they also have MLB TV. So ESPN just monopolizing the streaming services that are out there. And it has to be sports. Yes. I agree, Jay. Yeah, when it comes to MLB and then with Netflix, I know they're also throwing their hat in the ring. They're showing the opening day game as a standalone game next year. I think it's the Wednesday because baseball is now starting on a Thursday. Yankees are playing in San Francisco. And Netflix has a handful of games, including the Home Run Derby prior to the All-Star game next year. And then NBC, and this is what I like, NBC and Peacock, of course, they're going to have a Sunday Night Baseball package, which they're going to start in April, but then I guess they're going to pick it up in the middle or latter part of May. Because remember, they're also going to have the NBA package, and I'm sure they're going to show some playoff games. Although I would think baseball, they're going to show some games on Peacock there prior to the latter part of May, where baseball will be in the mix. Now, I don't know what that means for Fox. I think Fox, I don't know if they're still part of baseball's package, because ESPN, they were foregoing the wild card round, and there were going to be network streaming platforms, whatever, to pick up that package, which NBC has now done. I want to say Fox still has these Saturday games, and I would still think the World Series, etc. But I like that NBC has gotten back into the mix, not only with the NBA, but also Major League Baseball, because they've been a part of baseball forever, really up until the mid-'90s, or really until the late 90s, because they did have the 99 World Series on NBC. But you think about Kirk Gowdy, you think about Joe Garagiola, you think about Vince Scully when NBC had the baseball package all those years there, dating back from the mid-'50s all the way through the latter part of the 90s. So, yeah, to have them back in the mix, at least that's good, and it's on broadcast. It's not, Fox Sports 1, and at least NBC has that, and they'll show the wild card games. But, of course, with Peacock, you got to have the stupid streaming platform. But, yeah, so I'll touch on that a little bit. And baseball, there have been some qualifying offers signed, and you had a death there, Randy Jones, who was a former Cy Young Award winner, pitched for the Padres, even for the Mets for a couple of years. So I'll talk about that. And that's what you have there with the podcast. I don't care for other games. Much I suck at them. Yeah, no, I hear that. I'm with you. I would say college football, Madden. Oh, do you play the FIFA? Kirk Gowdy has a brother. I watch officially Trev Gowdy. I don't know. I'd have to look that up. Jay, and who knows? Maybe Trev Gowdy. It's possible. Maybe that's his grandfather. No, I understand, Fishing Angel. I know Jay had informed me yesterday of that because prior to me doing what I did, I was looking for you in the comments, and then, of course, your husband mentioned that you were at the clinic with your son, and like I mentioned, I hope all is well with him. But yeah, like I said, if you go back and watch that, you'll see, and I'm sure you'll be surprised. So yeah, so that's what I got with the podcast and all that. He is older. Who knows? Maybe his dad or grandfather. Oh, maybe. Okay. Yeah, I'll look that up. Trev Gowdy. Now, I want to talk about next week because it is Thanksgiving. And not only that, the impact that Monday's podcast, as well as the podcast pregame, is going to have. Unfortunately, I have jury duty on Monday. And I was going to forego it. I was going to try to get another date to show up, but I figured, now let me just get this over with. And that's Monday at 9 a.m. So, what does that mean for the podcast pregame? Yeah, I'm probably not going to have a podcast not probably. I'm not going to have one, considering I have it at 9:30. And of course, I could maybe schedule it a little bit earlier. But because unless I record Sunday night, which I still may do, and Sunday is our gotcha anniversary, just like I know you guys, Jay and Fishing Angel, your gotcha anniversary, I believe it's the 29th, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, we're going to go out Sunday. In fact, my wife's going to be away just for a night, Saturday night into Sunday, to go in Atlantic City. And then she's going to come back. We have something to do that afternoon upon a return, and then that night we're going to go out. So I don't know what time I'm going to return. I'm not going to, with my big mouth, start recording a podcast at 11 o'clock at night where I'm going to be whispering for the most part. Yeah, I know. I said jury duty does suck. Oh, 26th. I'm sorry, Fishing Angel. I got my dates mixed up. 26th is the gotcha day. The hunt for big fish with Trev Gowdy. Older dude. Okay. I can't be a guest. Oh, that's cool. Oh, no, I was thinking maybe, Jay, if you want to do it Wednesday. Now, that's the other thing, too, because Wednesday, if I get stuck on this jury duty, I'm going to have to keep you posted on that, because hopefully it's just a thing where I go for a couple of days and they say, you don't need you, goodbye, and that's it. So my fingers are crossed, because the last time I went to jury duty was 9 years ago. No, 8 years ago. It was 2017. It was during the World Series. And, yeah, I was there for 2 days. I went the first day. They let us go at like 1:30, I think it was. And they said, well, you have to come back tomorrow and we'll let you know. And I was there for maybe like an hour and a half, and they sent me home, and I was like, good, thank God. And then here it is 8 years later, and I got to go back. Yes, I will keep you posted. Yeah, because if I'm going to be stuck in jury duty, then I'm not going to have a live stream. Yeah, that bites. And then next Thursday, I'm not going to have a podcast because historically, I don't even think, when was the last time I did a podcast on Thanksgiving? I know in the last few years I have not, because that's a day where I'm usually like cooking in the morning and doing stuff. And as it is, this Thanksgiving is actually going to be early for me. Usually when I get together with my in-laws, it's normal dinner time, like 5-ish, 5:30. This year, we're going to my sister-in-law's out in New Jersey, and they're going to do more of like a Thanksgiving lunch. We're going to do it early. I think like 1:30, 2 o'clock, which I don't mind. I'd rather have it early, eat, and then have like Thanksgiving dinner. So it's like having, instead of doing seconds, let's say for dinner, I can have like the one big plate Thanksgiving lunch, and then a few hours later, then have my seconds then. But So, yeah, we're going to be going early. I probably have to get up early to cook. So, yeah, there's going to be no podcast next Thursday. But, yeah, I'll have to keep everybody posted. So this week, who knows? I may be in the dark. Now, you'll get my shorts of whatever's happening in sports. That I'm definitely going to do. But as far as a podcast pregame, which right now is not going to happen, a podcast where the unlikelihood of that happening on Monday, live stream, I'll keep you posted, and no podcast next Thursday. So, knock on wood. Never been asked to do Jersey. Good for you, Jay. I'll knock on wood for you. Well, I don't have one here. Probably my past has a lot to do with it. Oh, maybe. Quite possible. Yeah, but I'll keep you posted definitely prior to Wednesday. I mean, I should know by Tuesday. So, yeah, I'll let you know about that. And I hope at least I get to do that next week. Because could you imagine? I'm not going to have a podcast pregame or a live stream at all next week. So, yeah, so that's the possibilities for that scenario. So I wanted to put that out there. And, excuse me, other than that, that's what I have. Kind of quiet here today. I know, obviously, between Fishing Angel, me neither. Yeah. Oh, good for you. No jury duty for you either. Fishing Angel, good. That's good. So, yeah, so that's what I got cooking for next week. And not only that, with it, the calendar going to turn to December. Obviously, I've been thinking a lot, which I've already shared with you guys and gals, with the podcast itself and the other channel that I've talked about, which I may start incorporating. I would think right now, probably the beginning of the new year. Yeah, I have the other channel. I just have the name. It's just the JAYREELZ podcast, which I may do the podcast that you see on my channel now, I'll push it to that. And then my shorts, I may push it to that channel. I haven't thought about that because I've been reading a lot of stuff on YouTube, just trying to stay on top of everything and wanting to get the subscribers and wanting to get all that, and talking about how shorts, although it's good to build an audience, but because they're going to be so used to watching shorts that if I put longer content, that they're going to not watch that because they're used to watching the bits and pieces of the things that I post. And therefore, if I want to have growth on this channel, I may have to pivot and do something else. Not something else totally different or completely different from what I'm doing now. You know, like I would still do like the critique videos and all that, which I haven't done recently. I have a couple that I've edited, but I haven't really fine-tuned them just yet. But, yeah, I'll get to your comments there in a second there, Fishing Angel and Jay. But, yeah, I want to tidy this up, put a nice ribbon on what it is I'm going to do. And, of course, I'll let you guys and gals know ahead of time. Because, yeah, with the growth of the channel and going into the new year and all that, I want to go in a blaze of glory. I don't want to do something rash. This is something I've been thinking about, and I've been sharing with you guys and gals for quite some time. So this isn't anything new, but as we're getting closer to December, what are we now, 10 days away? What's today, the 20th? Oh, 11 days away. Yeah, before you know it, it'll be here, the new year, and then I could go ahead and get the new channel up with the podcast and with the shorts. And then on this channel, I'll have a little bit of that, but I'll do more commentary. I'll do more of with the sports history stuff. I'll do even some lifestyle stuff, positive stuff, good stuff, stuff like that, which I know could kind of upset the algorithm in that regard. Because if they're like, well, JAYREELZ, if you want to just put the sports history videos and the commentary and things of that nature, and then I'm going to add something about, I don't know, whatever, something positive, then they're going to say, wait a minute, I thought you're doing sports stuff, now you're doing positive stuff, whatever. But again, this is all still in the, not even say early stages, this is kind of like in the second trimester. It shouldn't compare that to a pregnancy. So Fishing Angel, my apologies to even try to compare it to that. But it's not in its early stages. I'll say that. This is something I've been thinking about for quite some time. Because, yes, to me, I don't want to make it about a year. I don't want to make it about a time. I don't, even though it's easy to say, oh, it's a new year, new this. I get all that. But yeah, it's time for me to really make some big time moves with this. Tatsuya, make a video on your morning routine. I've thought about that. And that's something that even on my Instagram that I haven't done that just yet, but I have that. And I also have like certain different brand deals that I want to get to or get through to, because I want to obviously start getting more backings, getting more sponsors, getting more partnerships. I'd rather get more sponsorships, because the sponsorships is where the money's really at. Partnerships are cool because I have like the discount codes and all that, but it's all contingent on everybody going out there and purchasing stuff where I'll get kickback on. But I'm going to get back to that in a second, Tatsuya. Yeah. So all this stuff has been in the developmental stages. And once we get to next month, and obviously you guys will be the first to know. And also I have a Patreon page, which I haven't really talked about, but that's going to be another level, which would be exclusive for you guys. But obviously that's like a paid thing, which I kind of hate to even say that. I'd rather do that to people who aren't familiar with the channel. Be like, hey, if you want more exclusive content, things of that nature. But again, I got to start making some big time moves. And not only that, but also getting out there to a lot of different events, rub elbows with people, try to be on other people's podcasts, things of that nature. Because yeah, man, there's no plan B. I don't want to go back into the 9-to-5 world. I don't want to, I got to get a part-time job, whatever, I'll do that. It's not that I'm afraid of the work, but I just don't want to, I'm not letting this sucker die on the vine. You guys have followed me long enough to know that this is what I do. And this is all I want to do. And your support has been tremendous, as I've said time after time. And I certainly don't want it to be a thing where, even if I have to suspend it, and not that I'd even want to do that, but it's a thing where, obviously I got to think about my options. And of course, I have a wife, and she's been fantastic. She's been tremendous throughout it all. And I mean that sincerely. It's not like she's saying, hey, this isn't working out, get a job, we gotta do this. And yeah, I know she wants to travel a little bit. We haven't traveled in over a year, and have vacations and do things of that nature. And even though she's well aware that even if I am on vacation, I'd still have to work, because whether it's with shorts or even with the podcast, but that stuff I could do early in the morning and we'd have the rest of the day to whatever. But yeah. And I'm not going to say something's got to give or something's got to happen. I know it's on me, but that's all the smoke that I want. And I'll get to the comments too after I say this. But yeah, it's all this stuff that I've been thinking about for quite some time. And I figure now's a good time to bring it up, only because with next week kind of being up in the air with the jury duty and all that's going on, but also it'll probably give me more time to reflect on what lies ahead, what's going to transpire, or what could transpire. I wish I could tell you what's going to transpire. So all that. So I appreciate you listening on that. And now let me get to the comments here. All right, Miles, hold on. Oh, the Madden, okay. Wonder if Kirk Gowdy is a brother. Yeah, that I got to check up on. Trev Gowdy. The Hunt for Big Fish, Trev Gowdy. All right. Yeah, jury duty, the 26th. Oh, I scrolled way too far up then. All right, probably my past has a lot to do with that. I know you're talking about that, Jay. All right, me neither. All right, but look at it this way. You're the voice of someone is guilty or not guilty. What the hell was that? Oh, it was a squirrel. I was like, was that a raccoon? All right, let me do that again. Fishing Angels. But look at it this way. You're the voice of someone who's guilty or not guilty. Yeah, no, absolutely. And, it is my civic duty to do that. So it's not like I'm like, oh, do I really have to do this? And listen, it's not like I do this every year. They called me 8 years ago and I got away with it. Now once we get on a trial and I'll be there for weeks on end, and next thing you know, hey, I'm not going to obviously get into that. That's not thinking positively and putting forth just watching this lady here, putting forth negative juju. I don't want to do that. My dad had to do a murder trial not long ago. He wasn't happy at all. Oh, wow. Yeah, that must have been, ugh. And then I think about it, so you guys are going to Fishing Angels' parents for Thanksgiving. That's cool. How far are they from you guys? I'm curious. December 17th, 42. Well, I will say happy early birthday because we're still in November. Fishing Angel, but as we get closer, you know, and especially when we get to that date, which will be, that's a Wednesday. Hey, now that I think about it, wait, Christmas is on a Thursday, right? That'll be a Wednesday, so I have a live stream that day. But not that I expect you to hop on board, but I'll be sure to start off the live stream on that day by wishing you a happy birthday. 42. All right, so Tatsuya, I hope you're still there. Make a video of my morning routine. Would you guys want to see stuff like that? Because I always feel, not always, that's too strong. Sometimes I feel like, all right, I put a lot of sports stuff, and rightfully so. That's what my channel's been built on. But to kind of do the routine stuff or the day in the life stuff or whatever, and I have had content like that on the channel. Would you guys be interested in that? And I kind of like that stuff, even though my wife gets at me if I'm on YouTube and I'll see certain creators and they'll have that type of morning routines or, oh, my fitness routine or my day in the life. It's like, you don't even know these people. Like, why do you care? And to me, I don't know. To me, that's the ultimate reality TV. But as long as you're authentic, I mean, I'm not going to watch, like, now this is extreme, but like the Kardashians, I'm not watching that. But my point is that if I'm watching this average Joe, let's say in this similar interest, like they go run or, I don't know, they have a healthy lifestyle, I'm curious. That's all it is. And I think it's good to open your mind to what other people are doing. Now, whether or not they're authentic or not, I mean, that is in their content. And you know me, I'm not trying to make myself out to be someone I'm not or to be, hey, I'm an influencer, this and that. That's kind of like a scary word. I'm just being me. And I'm just putting out the things that I love and the brands that I support, even though they may not support me, but hopefully that will in due time. And that's it. You know, I'm not trying to push an agenda. I'm not trying to push propaganda. I'm not trying to no, I'm just being me, and I've always been me. And I'm not, that you're always going to get that. I'm certainly not going to be this person that's going to be like, hey, no. No. No acting here. But Tatsuya, I appreciate you asking about that. And if so, definitely. Now, it's funny, you got me inspired to now want to do that. Because I've seen other people do it. I was like, should I do that? Like, for instance, when I do, like, the running stuff. And Tatsuya, if you're on Instagram, Jay, I know you're not on socials, but, yeah, hit me up or vice versa. Because I would probably start there. And I may put it on YouTube as well. Because that'd be a short, too. It's not like and even though the vlogs, and I love vlogs. I don't know, there's some people that I follow that I just, whenever they put out a vlog, it's like, hey, I got to watch. And, you know, the way they shoot it, the way they story tell. And to me, like I said, it's all about putting a positive spin on things. As bad as it is in this world, you know, everybody wants to put the negative or to be divisive. No. I want everybody to win. I want everybody to do well. I want everybody to be on top. I don't want anybody to, you know, just exist in life. I want everybody to live. I want everybody to enjoy their lives, have a purpose, find their niche. So many people are just, and listen, we all live in the matrix with some of the things that we watch or follow or do, but nah, I'm a big believer and it's like, nah, I don't care how old you are. I don't care. It's never too late. Never too late. And I understand we live in a society, here I am not going off on a tangent. We live in a society that's all about excess and you got to have the material things. And I've said this before, so I'm not going to regurgitate it. But yeah, nah. To me, it's about what's in here, not what's out here. So, but Tatsuya, I appreciate that, man. You really, that's something I'm going to highly consider. And I'll put it out there and I'll give you guys a heads up or whatever. Or, and you'll know during the live streams and all that. I'll say, hey, I put out a video on this and that. I'm trying to help expand your channel. I've tried a couple of things and I have more ideas. Jay, and you know, If there's anybody that's been a tremendous supporter, it's you, and you know I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart, without question. Tatsuya, I throw away the jury duty mail for 40 years, never got in trouble. Get out of here. Are you serious? They haven't come after you? That's wild. And you live in Brooklyn, so you have to go probably to downtown Brooklyn, right? I'm curious. Yeah, I never throw it away. And this, trust me, I got this 2 weeks ago, this notice, and I'm thinking to myself, it's probably like in the middle of January, to maybe be like 3 weeks or a month. And I said to myself, November 24th. I said, that's 2 weeks from now. And it's leading into Thanksgiving week, which could be a good thing in a sense where, and I'm not trying to put this out there. I guess maybe you could put it out there. Well, watch, I put it out there and it's like, nope, now I'm going to be on trial for like 6 months. This big, who knows, criminal case. But maybe because it's Thanksgiving week and, those people in the courthouse, they don't want to even be there that week. And so, we'll see. I'll keep you guys posted. You know that. Bio! Greetings. And good assessment on LeBron yesterday. I followed up on that earlier. 45 minutes, Fishing Angel. That's good. Oh, that's a nice little drive. How many of you get together? So, I mean, obviously it's your parents, brothers, sisters, I'm sure the kids. Is it a big thing or is it pretty much a small thing? For me, my Thanksgiving is going to be my in-laws, which is mother, father-in-law, my 3 sister-in-laws, their respective husbands, and then one just got engaged this past Saturday, in fact. And there may be some other family members. So, yeah, probably about, if I had to guess, 12 or 14 of us. Just found out my Lakers are playing the Celtics this year on my birthday. Oh, is that right? Yeah, that game is... Yeah, I don't know your birthday off the top of my head. Is it in February? Because I know the Lakers play... I should know this off the top of my head. I know the Lakers play the Knicks that Sunday, which is ironically the anniversary of the Luka trade, which is February 1st. Or maybe it's the 2nd. And then they play Brooklyn 2 nights later. So because of that, maybe they're on that East Coast trip to where they're playing the Celtics. Oh, and December 5th. Look at that. It's just a couple weeks away. Yeah, I should have known that. That's a bad job on my part. So look at that. December 5th. And then 12 days later is Fishing Angel's birthday. So wait a minute. You guys are Sagittarius then. Not that I'm big on horoscopes, but that's cool. I like that. Yep, Sagittarius. All right, Sagittarius in the house. I like it. People love comparing morning routines. Tatsuya, I don't know if you're still there, but who do you watch? I'm curious. Yes, 28th. Yep, that's right. 28th. Yep, that'll be the, which funny enough, January 28th, 96. That's going to be the 30th anniversary because of Super Bowl 60. Oh, Goggins. I mean, that's my guy. He hasn't done a morning routine one, has he, Tatsuya? Yes, he is Aquarius. Because my brother's birthday is February 8th. And then my other brother, now that I think about it, is January is the day after you. Oh, excuse me, the day before you, January 27th. On my father's side. My brother Sean, who lives in Florida, shout out to Sean. And my brother Ruben, February 8th, shout out to him. They're both Sagittarius, Aquarius. Tatsuya, you love Goggins? Yeah, man. You talk about a guy he's from another planet. But there's a guy that, he's just driven to not be average. And that's my point. Oh, podcast. Oh, okay, I understand. I thought he did like one of those morning routines that you see on social media, something like that. Oh, yeah, but no, he does that. Yeah, he starts off with at least, minimum, he runs at least 7 miles a day. Minimum. And, I mean, the guy is just, he's just and I love it, though. I love it that he's It's not about being ordinary. It's not. And it's true. And one of the things I love that Goggins says best is that, and I'm going to be profane here, which is very rare, but he's profane because of the life that he's lived. But he says it best. He goes, I love running by graveyards, he says. And because he loves running by graveyards, because he looks at all these graves, now he's not going one by one, but he sees all the tombstones and he asks himself, how many of those people who are long gone, dead and buried lived with regret? And he said it quite frankly and bluntly. He says, I don't want to fucking die like that. And it's true. Because one of the things that, especially over the last few years, and one of the reasons why I took the leap from having a good job, great pay, vacations, benefits, the whole nine, is because I didn't want to have any regret. I want to be able to pursue my dream, pursue my goals, pursue my passions of doing this. And I didn't want it to be a thing where I let it die on the vine when I'm 70, God willing, 75, 80 years old. To know that, I emptied the tank. That if I were to, heaven forbid, die tomorrow, I gave it a shot. I didn't let up. I didn't want to just be in the Matrix, doing the same thing over and over. And the Matrix being where everybody's doing, and I get it. You know, you got to pay the bills and have a roof over your head and all that, but the routine of waking up, going to a job that you don't like, having to deal with the boss, dealing with clients, dealing with customers, dealing with things of that nature, then go home, watch TV, go to bed, wake up, repeat, then wait till you get your 2 weeks vacation, or if you split it up 2 separate times in a year, and it's the same hamster wheel. I don't want to live my life like that anymore. And listen, it's almost 2 years that I've been doing this, and I haven't earned a dime, thankfully for savings and the pandemic, which we didn't do a lot. But yeah, and that's why there's always more. I can always do more, and I want to pass that on to everybody too. Is that we can always do more. Always be kind, grateful, thankful, all that. Too many people are wrapped up in the wrong things. Too many people don't show gratitude. To know that every time we wake up and we're alive and breathing, that we always have a shot. But it's all up to you. And I get it. When the universe decides that these opportunities or certain things that you map out, it's going to be up to the universe. But as long as you put in that work, it's going to conspire to work for you, not against you. And that's why I do what I've been doing what I've been doing this time. All right, let me scroll up here. Reminder of your PS3 is what I want. I'll buy it from you, sir, if you want to sell it. Oh, is that right? I didn't know you want to buy it. Interesting. You know what? I'll think about it, but I have to turn that on. I got to make sure it works, though, Jay. I haven't turned that thing on in eons. It has to be at least 8 years. I'm sure it works, and I got to dig it out of storage, but I'll keep you posted on that. Now, what I probably sell. I mean, to sell, what am I going to sell it for? $50? I mean, it's probably not worth anything, considering. But I hear you. I got to. The storage is at my in-laws. I'm not going to go there probably next weekend, so I got to make sure to pull it out and test it. Sagittarius have big hearts and care a lot. No. Yeah, the Sagittarius people in my life, I know of a couple. And yeah, no, they actually been that way. One of them actually doesn't live too far from where I'm at right now. And her birthday is December 15th. I also know another person who's December 5th too, and she's tremendous as well. I've been looking for backward, compatibility 3S3 for a long time, which means you'll play PS1 too. Ah, yes. Are they worth a chunk of change? That's interesting. Whoop. Bio, don't thank you, brother. I appreciate that. That means a lot. Absolutely. Yeah, James Franklin, Virginia Tech. Hey, listen, good for him. Obviously, that was a tough deal there at Penn State and with the way things unfolded this year for him. But, he didn't win big games. But now he's at Virginia Tech. He's not going to face that type of pressure. That even if he goes 9-3 and wins a bowl game, I mean, that's a successful season. Tech is not expected to do anything big, where Penn State, especially after the whole Joe Paterno fallout and everything there, once that dust finally cleared and settled and he passed and all that, they started to get themselves back into the college football consciousness. And then, of course, they've fallen short, as you know, over the last couple of years. So the more you do, the better it'll be. Yes. Kobe Bryant said it best. The job's not finished. And that goes for everything in life, not just the work that you do to earn money, but the work on ourselves, the work of whatever it is that you want to be in life, the person you want to be, etc. We also don't take crap either. Yeah, right. As you should, or anybody else, but that's Sagittarius for you? Yes. Well, hell no. If it is backwards compatible, worth $300-400 easy. If not, worth at least $100. See, now you tell me that, I'm not going to, if I were to sell it to you, Jay, I'm not going to sell it to you for $300. Or $400 for that matter. But that's interesting. I didn't even know that. That's how far removed I am from playing video games and things of that nature. But, yeah, I know I got a little philosophical here. But, yeah, I know as I sit over here, I don't know, I need to look here. Look to you guys. I'm over here looking around because I'm outdoors. I see squirrels bouncing around, and there's this lady that was drinking a coffee. She put it on top of this windowsill. It's like, lady, what are you doing? But I know. Focus. Zero in right here. But, yeah, so that's what's happening. Retro video games are worth big money. Oh, really? The retro games, what, like for PS? I don't know, I guess a certain Call of Duty game or... And you know me, I'm not even into those games. But yeah, that's what's happening. That's the latest and greatest here. So, yeah, podcast won't be up till about 2-ish. Because once I get back, it's almost 10:30. Then, and like I mentioned, the wife is home. I should probably be recording from the sports desk. I won't be in the other room recording. So I have that. But as you know, in bio, I know you, I don't know if you got wind of this, but no podcast pregame on Monday. And chances are no podcast on Monday either because I have jury duty. And then right now, the Wednesday live stream is up in the air because depending on what's going to happen with jury duty, whether they're going to call me in or call me back or whatever, and then there's going to be no podcast on Thanksgiving. So next week could be a dark week. Now, you still will get the shorts, and I should probably put up a couple of the videos that I have on deck that I've edited. And in fact, I should probably look into bringing my laptop to jury duty. I don't even know if you could do that. Could you? Because I'll just edit there. Because as we all know, jury duty is a root canal and a tooth extraction all in one. So if I could bring my laptop and edit, oh, man, that'd be great. Because I'm not going to be able to record. If I can record my live stream in there, that'd be great. But obviously that's not going to happen. But, yeah, I'll keep everybody posted. Not only that, I'll keep it maybe not with a video, but even if I just type up a post, I'll let you know as to what's happening. Or I'll text you because, obviously I got your guys' contact, so I'll do that. Yeah, Bio, thank you. I'm going to need it. Hopefully it'll be like it was 8 years ago. And funny enough, the last time I did jury duty was 8 years ago during the World Series, 2017. I know a World Series that you like to forget, despite the fact that you're coming off of back-to-back World Series wins. But, yeah, and as I was saying to Jay and Fishing Angel, and even Miles was in the room earlier, Tatsuya, was that day, that Monday I went in, I was there till maybe out 3 o'clock. They said, all right, come back tomorrow. We'll let you know if we're going to choose you, select you. I was there an hour and a half, and they sent me home. So I'm hoping that's going to be the same thing this time around. 6 months ago, took all day. Ugh. They're doing a lot of electronics, phones, computers. I know, when I went that day, oh, geez. I remember maybe having my phone, but I don't remember being on it. Yeah, I know. They don't want to do that. If you're going to, no, I believe you bring your phone just to kind of doom scroll or whatever. You can't be on your phone when you're in the room waiting to be called. I got to look that up. Yeah, because if I could bring my laptop and edit, now I have to bring my headphones. I don't know how they're going to feel about that. Because, once they call you, maybe I can have one ear on one and keep the other ear open. I don't so well. Maybe that's why I don't get asked to do it. Oh, yeah, I could see that, Jay. A Nintendo game recently sold for $2 million. Really? What game was that? You know what I have? Well, it was actually my brother Justin's, and it doesn't work. But I actually have, with the games, an old Nintendo Game Boy. Oh, stadium events. Yeah, I wonder how much that would fetch. Thinking. Yeah, that may not fetch a lot because obviously it's not working, and who knows if they probably don't have the parts for it unless they have an old Game Boy. I mean, who knows? But yeah, so that's what I got. That's what's happening. I don't know if anything's happening in sports at the very moment. Anything that's come down the pike here over the last hour is I'll sign off in a couple of minutes. But yeah, so that's what I got, people. Not to regurgitate everything that I've said here over the last hour, but I do appreciate it. Tatsuya, I don't know if you're still there. You don't have anything for the Mets? Now, I know somebody put a report, which I think is a joke, and I would not do this. Byron Buxton, Joe Ryan to the Mets for Brandon Nimmo, Brandon Sproat, and a prospect. Who's the prospect? It's not Jet Williams. Oh, jeez. Can't remember who it is. I will, Fishing Angel, absolutely. And I said no to that deal. I know Joe Ryan's a good pitcher, but Byron Buxton's always hurt. And I don't know how much money he's making on his deal. Nimmo, I think he still has what? He signed in after 2022, 3, 4, 5. He still has 5 years left. And what? $100 million? Oh, my God. Stadium Events was the game. Oh, okay. That was made for Nintendo Power Pad. I remember Nintendo Power Pad. Game controller that you put on the ground. Yes. That's over $2 million? Yeah, that's insane. $2 million. That's one of those things where all the stuff that we had as a kid, we probably just, if we would have known better, we should have just kept it. Because here it is 20, 30 years later, if we would have sold it. Now, I understand it's not in the box with the plastic wrap, but still, all the money we could get back on that, geez, I tell you. All right, people, let me get ready to sign off. Yes, not many were made. Oh, that's why they bought the rights, changed the name of the game. Makes sense. Yeah, let me get ready to sign off. If you have any final comments, please share them now. But yes, you will, in some way, shape, or form, just keep an eye on the channel. Or I can even text you guys to inform you what's happening, especially with you, Jay, next Wednesday. And obviously with the status on the, well, I know Monday for sure, no podcast. Well, let's see. Because if I do record Sunday night, it all depends. But anyway, right now, podcast pregame for sure, because that's usually 9:30, and I'm going to be in jury duty. Podcast, I'll probably put a short that morning, because what I could do is I could record Sunday night and then edit early Monday morning. I get up at 5 in the morning to do that and edit, and that's generally not too long. It takes me about an hour and a half, and then the post and stuff. But, yeah, just keep your eyes on the channel for more, and, of course, I'll post my shorts, etc. Bio, great day to you, my man. Good luck Sunday night against Tampa. Fishing Angel, thank you, as always. And definitely go back to the live stream yesterday. Started like the 25-minute mark, because between 25 and 35, you'll get to see, or maybe 38, I think it was. But you'll see what I posted. Graded video games are stupid money. Oh, geez, I can imagine. But I appreciate you guys. Yes, thank you, Fishing Angel. I appreciate you guys. One, as I've said time after time, just keep your eyes locked in on the channel for more information regarding next week. And yes, I love doing these. It's always a pleasure to interact with you guys and gals. And enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Enjoy your weekend, whatever it is that you're doing. Be safe out there. And you will hear from me for sure in the days leading up to next week, Thanksgiving week. So with that being said, people, until next time on The Flip, enjoy your Thursday, enjoy your weekend, and you'll hear from me soon, I promise. Thank you, guys.